All right, we are pretty much halfway through the NFL season.
People are in trouble.
There are some
Week
teams
9.
that are
Week
freaking out.
9.
And I want to talk about the teams we are officially hitting the panic button on. Because we had an episode, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago now, where it might have been a little earlier actually.
Yeah.
Where we kind of preface like we will freak out on these teams if these things happen.
Yeah.
And a lot of those have come to fruition. So I'm just going to start on this one, say a couple teams I'm completely hitting the panic button on, and then we can open it up to talk about whoever. Number one's the Jets. All right, the experiment's not working. It's not worked at all. Panic button, panic button. They are not making the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers does not look like himself. Their defense is good, but they're letting the Steelers put up 37. How good is this defense?
Yeah, and then Patriots put up 27 also.
I know.
Right?
No,
yeah. I
yeah.
don't know what they're
I mean, the
gonna be doing.
Patriots are in a full rebuild mode, and they're actually not looking that terrible.
No.
You know,
Which is crazy.
yeah, and I mean, they had Drake May playing out of his mind, and then
Drake May was beating
gets,
him,
and then
he
he
gets
gets hurt,
hurt.
and Brissett comes in,
Brissett
and
still
still
beats
just
him.
falls. Yeah,
No, that's
so
crazy.
something's going on with this Jets team. That's my first panic button. Next team, Bengals. So this was a team, you know, they won 2 weeks ago, and we were like, maybe, right? We've seen it.
Hold on.
We've seen it enough times where they start super slow, and then Burrow just goes on his run.
Uh-oh.
But you look at them right now.
There's no running.
They're in trouble.
No
I mean,
running.
they're actually in, like, especially with the AFC.
I was gonna say
They
might
can't
throw his
almost.
hand.
They literally can't lose a game.
they're 3-5 in a
Yeah.
division that has 2 5+ win teams, and the rest of the conference is looking tough. I mean, the Chiefs are 7-0. You have the Broncos at 5 wins. Bills are 6 wins, and then the other wild cards, you know, have the Texans 6-2, and then the Jags or the Colts at 4-4. So, you know, they definitely can make a wild card game still, but there's something wrong with this Bengals team, and I don't think it's Joe Burrow.
Well, it's the defense. I mean,
Their defense is terrible.
horrible.
One of the worst teams in the league. And then last team, I'm fully off. It's sad to say, is the Jaguars. And it,
I mean,
but I do
I
want.
mean-
They're one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd have to say this, but it is Doug Peterson's fault. This team is coached awful. They are one of the worst
Yeah, that's
coached
pretty
teams in
bad.
the league. Dude, Trevor Lawrence's stats are not bad this
They're
year.
not bad.
He's a
The
top 10
Prince who is
quarterback.
not promised.
He's actually. Dude, I don't think he's playing bad. They're on one of the worst managed teams in the league.
had a
He's
bad
top
team.
10 in every single QB snap, even including yards, which he never is.
Yeah,
we
that's
always say he
crazy.
doesn't throw for stats. I mean, he's 9 in yards. His touchdown interception ratio is better than most of the starting quarterbacks. Like, I think 3 of the top 5 for MVP, he has better touchdown interception ratio than. And this defense just cannot do anything. The receivers are running the wrong routes. He still
Yeah, that's
feeds
crazy.
Brian Thomas, but they ran the wrong route like 4 times, where he's thrown to a spot and then just looks at him like, "What are you doing?"
Which is really weird because they have, like, Christian Kirk's a vet, quote unquote, and knows exactly what he's doing, and Evan Ingram's
No,
stud.
it has to be coaching because it's
No, that's
any
what I'm saying.
receiver. It's any receiver that
They
goes
have-
there. Same with
yeah.
Ridley.
They have a
paid
stacked,
Ridley.
they have a perfect offense. They just have no coaching to help them.
Why? There's also been a lot of drop passes. Like not
They
like
have the most
yes, the
drop passes
routes.
in the league
Yes,
for the
the
last 2
routes
years.
are.
No, I know, but like they're
run
they're
wrong,
scoring.
but-
I think it's just like
I mean, I know
Belichick
2
coaching.
weeks ago when everyone got on Trevor Lawrence for I forget who they lost to.
There's like
2 weeks ago.
11
It was
drop
the
passes.
Texans, right? 2 weeks ago.
Was
And
it
then
the
it
Texans?
was the Texans 2 weeks ago, and I think they had 3 drop touchdown passes
Yeah.
on individual drives on
that's
second or
misery.
third down, like actual like in the books as a drop, just wide open. So but they're done. Is basically what I was gonna say. Those are my 3 teams. I'm fully off. Ryan, I'm assuming you agree with me on some of
No,
these.
yeah, all of them. I mean, Bengals, I think are completely done. I know we've been. My only thing was, hey, their offense. Yeah, I can trust in them. They put up 17 the last 2 weeks. I don't think we've all been saying the Eagles' defense is completely terrible, and
Their secondary is awful.
and they only put up 17. And then against the Giants, their win 2 weeks ago, I think it was, or maybe 3 weeks ago, they only put up 17 again. So like, if their offense isn't doing what they should be doing, which is scoring, being one of the highest scorings in the NFL and scoring 26 plus a week, they're completely cooked.
Yeah,
and
I
they
mean,
haven't been doing that.
They have more points against than points for.
So I'm saying,
is-
so like,
Yeah,
so it's like, which that's a given, but you have to score in this league, and I don't think scoring 17 points is gonna ever be like, oh, it's automatically the defense's fault. Yes, it's majority of the defense's fault, but I still think this offense is still buggy. There's still things that aren't connecting, and yeah, I'm completely off them. The AFC's too tough. They're done.
Hurts when T's not playing too. When T was playing, that's when they.
No, yeah, that's true. It
start
definitely
winning
hurts.
games.
Yeah, they're done. Jaguars complete. I mean, Jaguars have been done since
Yeah.
Week one.
Week 1 since
year.
last year,
Yeah.
and they went on the streak. It's
Week
just
10
something
last year,
mentally
yeah.
that you get absolutely screwed with. And then my biggest like panic button of like the entire universe, not on a team, it's on a player. Anthony Richardson needs the
You'll be fine. You might be stranded, but you'll be fine.
Okay. Anyways, besides that, Anthony Richardson is an abomination of a first-round pick. I have never seen anything go so bad so quickly. And yeah,
You've never seen something go bad so quickly?
never mind. It's the
I
second
mean,
phrase
someone
I've
just
ever said
derailed
that.
this entire
That was
episode.
the episode. The whole episode.
No,
is
you
gone.
win, Mike. No, you win. My panic button's on Mike. That's my panic button for
I changed mine.
Yeah, mine's Mike.
Hit the button. Mike, editor, put a button right here, and it's your face, and I'm hitting the button.
He's smashing your face.
Who are you panicking on?
Well, mine is actually a pretty fun one, but I think it's a serious concern.
Oh God.
Serious
Oh,
concern
God, it's gonna be
here.
So bad.
And it's going to be the Bears. And let me tell you a reason why. All right. So,
my.
Caleb Williams, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. All
There's
right.
no one like him.
No. Hear me out. All right. So, Caleb Williams last week threw 10 for 24, 131 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks, which is, I guess, a good thing, but 0 touchdowns and less than 150 yards for under 50%. Absolutely atrocious. I think not only is Caleb Williams just, granted, the past 2 weeks he was doing fine, whatever, but I think his mentality is bleeding into this locker room and it's causing a serious problem.
Yeah, Mike.
This is shown.
What?
No,
what?
stop.
Stop.
Stop. Because you never let me finish my argument.
You
So-
always finish, Mike.
No. No. But no.
Got him.
His mentality, his poor, toxic mentality has been bleeding into this locker room and causing problems everywhere. And this is highlighted
that's what
at the
you're hearing?
end of the game with the quarterback. His name is Tyreek Stevenson. This man was
That
waving
was
to
crazy.
the fans.
That was crazy.
And that's
Glo-
Caleb's fault.
goading-
Just making sure it's Caleb's
Well,
fault.
it's
He's
it's-
the leader.
He's the leader of the
Exactly.
team.
He's the
You
leader.
know, if
Follow
this
the
was
lead.
Tom Brady's locker room,
That's
you
never-
think any player like that would be
You're
doing that?
Bill
comparing, you're
Belichick.
comparing Caleb Williams
You
to Tom
think-
Brady. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Caleb
No,
Williams to Tom
no,
Brady.
no.
To
To
show
show
you the difference.
No.
To show you the
I'm
difference.
showing, yeah.
The first comparison that
he
came
thought
to
of
his
was
mind.
Tom
Yeah.
Brady. Love that.
Gosh, I'm showing you the polar opposites,
Yeah.
right? So Caleb Williams is the worst that gets, and Tom Brady is his best that
Epitomizes
gets.
the best.
Exactly. So, you know, it's a serious problem, and this isn't shown only on the one play, but the Bears as a team are in the bottom half of the NFL when it comes to penalties.
Bottom half.
The bottom half of
What's
the
their
NFL.
ranking?
Well, I mean, if we're getting pretty deep
What's
into
the number? What?
17.
So it's one off the top half.
Well, it's one off the middle.
Okay.
What's your actual panic? They have a winning record with a rookie quarterback. Who's your actual panic?
I mean,
team?
Well, it's definitely the Bears is my number one, and then my number two
Thank
is kind
you.
of unfair, but it's gonna be the Bucks because without Mike Evans and Godwin, I don't know if they're gonna be able to do anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
that's fair. That's a good
fair
pick. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
So both very reasonable arguments from what it sounds like.
Terrible.
I mean,
Mario, who are you
This guy's
panicking
just
on?
a
Actually,
lover of.
I
Caleb
do.
Williams.
I wouldn't mind having a Caleb Williams conversation,
Yeah,
but that's not what
it's-
this is about. But
I
I didn't
like
like his reaction
can
after
have-
the game.
No,
can
I
have-
mean that guy is poor
He does.
mentality.
I think he just shows his emotions on his sleeve a little too much.
Hey, he's
You can say it's good or bad thing, but yeah, we can definitely have the Caleb Williams conversation.
He's a 12-year-old
But
in a
my
body.
panic button is still. I mean, the Jets are a new one, a new addition, but it's still the Cowboys for me. I think it's just a team that
Very fair after last week.
like. The way I saw this season going for them, I mean, I just like I'm convinced they might not make the playoffs.
They aren't going to.
I
make
don't
the
think
playoffs.
they're
You
gonna.
can get them at like 3.5 to 1 to make the playoffs right now.
Yeah, I mean, this team is just unbelievably bad. And yeah, Bengals. I still think the AFC is weird. I think they could still
They
like
can make the playoffs.
make a wild card team, but and then like Jags to me were never a panic team because it's like saying, are we panicking on the Panthers? Like I never had them as like a chance, you know.
Sure.
That's
But
fair.
yeah, Cowboys would be number one,
Yeah,
probably for me.
That's right.
Love
We
it.
kind of also, if you watch that episode's preseason, we kind of warned about what could happen with the Cowboys this year.
Yeah.
Because
What? No single human being had any idea the defense wouldn't be top 10.
No, just I'm talking about Dak. We're saying when
I don't. We
Dak has
it
never
was not
strung
Dak's
together.
fault.
Well, I'm just saying Dak has.
No,
we
but
said
it's like
this-
a weird
we said
repeating
this preseason.
thing.
Yeah, we said
we
it
did.
preseason that Dak has never had 2 good years back to
Back-to-back.
back.
Let's see how
It's
the-
never happened. He's been in the league
Look
8
at his stats.
seasons.
Let's see how they end at the end of the year.
I'm saying he's been in the league 8 seasons and he's never strung back-to-back good seasons together. Last year was his best season. This year looks like probably the worst Cowboys team that
It's also
Dak, it's
tough
been a
when he
Dak
has
Prescott
to
led
put
team.
up by himself, score every single time with only one wide receiver, no running game, and be down by 20 every single game.
I mean, their offense has 150 points scored. It's one of the worst in the NFL.
Definitely have
So
zero
it's
run
he
game.
actually has one of the lowest scoring offenses in the entire league. So it's not like he's actually doing that well.
I mean,
like,
he
they're
has-
not
they have
scoring
the worst
points.
running game, one of the worst offensive lines.
I agree.
No
their
wide
whole-
receiver help.
Their whole team is a disaster.
But he's also like not making good decisions too. Like that first pick he threw.
And that happens, but I just don't think this is.
there's only
that
2
conversation.
teams in the NFC that have scored less points than them. It's crazy. I mean, their offense is awful.
Who
like-
besides the Panthers
Giants.
Giants, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
okay, the Giants also.
might
Yeah.
could pass him.
But yeah, it's they're not good. Their team is not good at all. And I agree. I would panic on the Cowboys if I hadn't already panicked a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But this NFL season is going to be real interesting coming down the wire. A lot of these teams in the NFC are at that 4-win number.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of teams right there, including Mike's panic team with the Bears. So, if the Bears make a run, they could easily win the division.
All I'm saying is that this team could be similar in a sense to like the Steelers of the past 3 years without Mike Tomlin to carry them above 500. So they'll get a few wins.
What the f***
But
is
they're
that
at-
to do with Steelers?
It means that their team is based entirely off their defense. Their offense is awful, but their defense will carry them to have, with Mike Tomlin, above 500. Without Mike Tomlin, probably a game or two below 500.
What team is this?
The Bears.
The Steelers made the playoffs.
I can't wait till the
Over
Bears
10
like
wins.
win their first playoff game, and I
Yeah.
just get to
All right.
No,
Whatever.
Mike
No
and Caleb
fucking-
Williams.
Mike and his
jersey.
Caleb Williams, just unbelievable. But
That's-
there you have it. NFL episode. We hit the panic button on quite a few teams. Let us know in the comments who you are panicking on.
Panic.